3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Hello guys, what is up and welcome back to the Sports Shift with me, Ian Marquez. Today we're going to be previewing this weekend's NFL content, looking at all the big matchups and sorting out this playoff picture. So we're going to get started with the Thursday night matchup, which is the Broncos heading to LA to face off the Chargers. These revamped Broncos under Sean Payton are in a fine run of form. They are chasing that wild card spot, as are the LA Chargers, so this should be a very intense game, looking to seal their wild card fate. What could be a wild card game, probably looking at a 6 seed, so not the easiest wild card game, but you're in the playoffs either way. I think the Chargers are going to come out on top. I know they've had a couple tough games over the past weeks where they fought hard but weren't victorious, but I think they're back to win their ways this week and they've cemented themselves in the playoffs. Now we have the Texans heading to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. Both teams have clinched their division and are now just fighting for seeding. Chiefs have been winning games sloppy all season, and I think that continues with another Chiefs win. Texans are in a strange position because they can't really get the number 1 seed. It's very unlikely, so they're probably just comfortable with a 3 or 4 seed and just trying to make sure the guys stay healthy and stay fresh for the playoffs. Now this is the big one. Steelers heading to Baltimore. Steelers win this, the division is all but a lock. If the Ravens win it, it's anyone's division for the taking, and the Steelers do have a tougher schedule outside of this game to close out the season. So if the Ravens win it, most would think that the Ravens will clinch the division. So it's very interesting to see what happens from here. I do think the Ravens will be victorious in this game. I think it'll be close, but the Ravens are the better team. I know the Steelers won a tough one against the Ravens at home early in the season, but I think the Ravens come up victorious in this one. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry to take it away and fight for control of the division. Now you have two terrible teams right now. Falcons started off so hot, but what has been a very tough stretch, resulting in Kirk Cousins being benched for Michael Penix Jr. Everyone wonders what's going to happen to Kirk Cousins. It was such a strange draft. Signing Kirk Cousins in the offseason and drafting Michael Penix, everyone wondered what happened. Well, they paid Kirk Cousins and they benched him now. Are they going to eat all that dead cat? I think it's $40 million if they cut him this year and then $25 million next year, which is crazy. But they're at home to the Giants. They're still winning the division, so I think they will win this game. Michael Penix Jr. might have a tough introduction. However, you're not going to get an easier team to play against. He has very skilled position players in Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, etc. So I think they'll come on top in this game. The Lions heading to Chicago to play the Bears. Although the Lions have been playing great this season, they have been struck by injuries, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They just lost one of the major running backs in David Montgomery, and they're not clear in the division. The Packers are right there. The Vikings are right behind them. They need to win out to secure the division, including beating the Vikings at the end of the season. I think they'll continue that this week. So much is going wrong for the Bears. It looked a little bit better in recent weeks, but it still hasn't turned into victories. And I don't think that starts this week. In terms of head coaching changes, issues with the front office, coaching departments. Caleb Williams not looking as sure as people would have thought when they drafted in number 1 overall. So I think the Lions still have enough to get it done. One of the best coached teams in the league with Dan Campbell has created a great culture around the team, and even though they're losing a lot of players, I think they still have enough to get it done. Hopefully they get healthy by the playoffs, because it's just been such a great story. You'd hate for them to lose just due to injury. Like, if they're gonna lose, at least let them lose because they got beaten by a better team, you know. So now we have the Arizona Cardinals heading to Carolina to play the Panthers. What is going to be a very, very cold game, probably low scoring. Bryce Young has looked a lot better in recent weeks. And in this cold weather, Kyler Murray's played in the cold before, but I expect a surprise. I expect a shock and the Carolina Panthers to win in this low-scoring cold weather game. I expect the Panthers to come out victorious. Cardinals still have a chance at the division, so they'll be fighting hard. But I don't think people understand the value of playing at home in this league. It's a huge difference, and it counts for a lot. Then if LA heading to New York was also promising to be a cold weather game. LA fighting for that division. Important win against the Niners last week, and I think they continue that fight. Winning what has been a sorry Jets team with all in on Aaron Rodgers, and who knows what's next for them. Just looking to tuck in and get out of this season. Garrett Wilson has been so upset over how they've been playing him. Rightfully so, because he's skillful but they're not getting him the ball. And I think LA just better coached and has enough skill position players to get the job done. Huge divisional matchup. Eagles will seal the division with a win against the Eagles. Will seal the division and maintain the fight for the #1 seed with a win against the Washington Commanders. Eagles have been in fine form. A huge win against the Ravens last week, and I don't see who stops them, especially in the second half where they turn it up. I think the Eagles come out swinging as usual in the second half and run away with it to stamp their name on the #1 seed. The Browns against the Bengals. Pretty much a meaningless game. Bengals season is basically over. Browns season is very much over. Browns have been known to put a sticker in the divisional games that people thought would have been pretty straightforward. But I do think the Bengals have enough to get it done. Joe Burrow, you would think he has a chance at the MVP, but you kind of have to win your division to be an MVP, and he's obviously not going to do that. However, their offense is still on fire between him and Jamar Chase. I know Jamar Chase is up for a contract, so he's going to be wanted to be stat padding for the rest of the season, and I think Joe Burrow helps him with that. I do think they get the win, a bit late, but they'll still put up a fight to the end of the season. Then we have the Tennessee Titans heading to the Colts. Pretty much a meaningless game here. Anthony Richardson has looked a little bit better. They've been creating an offense that suits him, so I'm going to go with the Colts, but it's pretty much a pointless game. Not a game that much I'm going to want to watch. Guess we'll see what happens there. The Vikings heading to Seattle. Seattle has been on a run, is now in the lead in the division, but the Vikings are chasing down that division lead against the Lions, and they want to make sure that when they play the Lions at the end of the season that a win will secure them the division. So I'm going with the Vikings here. Sam Darnold has not been great. However, his teammates have been bailing him out, whether that's the defense or Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones. Even though he's not been that great, the defense has been bailing him out, and I think that continues. He will play his game manager role. It'll be pretty decent, but the team will do enough to get the win. Now we have the Patriots heading to the Bills. I think the Bills will massacre them. Bills already have clinched the division once more, and will be looking to chase down the best seed that they can get. I don't think this will be close in the slightest. The Bills love to play in these cold weather games, and Josh Allen is looking to secure his MVP status. I think the Bills demolish the Patriots. So let's move on. Two struggling teams, with the Jaguars traveling to Vegas to play the Raiders. 4 quarterbacks have been playing this season that have all looked dreadful. Trevor Lawrence is out. Mac Jones and the Jaguars against, who's even playing for the Raiders? It's the Aiden McConnell. It's not a game anyone's going to want to watch. Their seasons are all over. I'm just going to go with the home team here, man, but there's not much going on here. Niners still fighting for a chance to the playoffs. Dolphins season is basically over. I think the Niners put the nail in the coffin with a win against the Dolphins. I know the Niners are very banged up, but I just think the Dolphins late in the season they start to lose games, and then they still have a chance. So hopefully they can win games until they get healthy enough to maybe at the end of the season snatch either a wild card or the division if it's still an opportunity. On the Sunday night game, we have the Buccaneers traveling to Dallas. Buccaneers are on a rampage, defeating anyone in their path as they fight to claw back the division from the Falcons, the struggling Falcons who just benched at quarterback. Baker Mayfield and his offense, his depleted offense, has still been on fire. He's throwing the ball, whoever's out there, just saying go up and get it. And they've been answering the call, taking down catches, and I think the Buccaneers continue. Cowboy season is pretty much over, wrapping it up. Cooper Rush, they did get that one win a couple weeks ago, but I'd have the season to forget for the Cowboys. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers are on a tear, and I think it will come down to the end of the season for that NFC South division. Meanwhile, on Monday night, my banged up Saints head to Green Bay. Green Bay is third in the division, yet still has a wild card position clinched and an outside chance at clinching the division. I don't think this is in anyone's doubt. A doubt in anyone's mind. Green Bay demolishes the Saints. Now we're seeing that Alvin Kamara is out for this game, maybe out for the rest of the season. The Saints are just so banged up, man. They started the season so well, but I think every season is the same thing. Why do the Saints always have the most injuries? I never understand. It's always key players as well, you know? But next season, it's going to be a weak division again. If the Saints can stay healthy, it's anyone's for the taking. This Derek Carr thing, I'm not too convinced, but you never know. He started the season well. Maybe we get something going. I'm loving the Spencer Rattler cameos that we've been getting. Hopefully those continue. But Green Bay continues their push for the division, chasing on the Vikings and the Lions, and I think they take care of business on Monday night. So now we go to our touchdown parlay, and we're going to running backs by committee. Derrick Henry in a huge game versus the Steelers, fighting for the division. I think, as usual against the Steelers, it comes down to a game on the grounds, turns into a ground and pound, and I think Derrick Henry, could be Lamar Jackson as well, but I think they trust Derrick Henry to get it in. He very, very rarely fumbles, usually very safe for the ball, very trustworthy, and I think he gets the job done. Jahmyr Gibbs, well, David Montgomery is now out with a tough season-ending injury, so relying on him, I think he'll take the load on his back and he will get the job done, as he has been all season. And Saquon Barkley, already talked about him. Got a little banged up and came on the game early last week, but he has been in fine form, especially the second half, and in a huge divisional game to seal the division. I think he once more takes control and gets the ball over the end zone. So now my not a lot parlay that has been going great and has yet to hit this season. We're going the Bills against the Patriots. Easy win there. Lions against the Bears. What's the fear? We have the Eagles in another divisional game against the Commanders. Maybe a little iffy there, but I think the Eagles get it done. They have the better players and they are better coached. Now we have the Packers against the Saints. I don't think anyone has any doubt about that one. If there's any that's going to be tricky, it's going to be the Eagles. If you want to go a little safer, I'd say maybe the Rams against the Jets. It's a safer bet, but right now I'm pretty confident in the Eagles, man. This plays at 2-5, so the low odds show you that it's pretty safe bet. And let's see, I think it's a good time to start hitting these parlays. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to check out any more of my content. Otherwise, enjoy this weekend's games and see you guys later.